Welcome to Family Quiz Night. Today is Space, the Final Frontier quiz. A lot of you excited, a lot of yay is coming in. So here are the rules. I don't think you need to know them, but just in case, your video is off. We actually would like to ask you to turn on your audio once in a while to give your answers. And more than answers, if you have any fun facts to share, some fun trivia to share, do let me know because we would like to hear it too. Do send your answers on chat. 1 point for every correct answer. And I have got at least 2-3 messages saying we are trying to get that one extra point for the first correct answer. So you are in good competition today. Do put all your fingers and write on the point where you have to send them in. In case of doubts, you can ask, but I don't think there shall be any. So let's go ahead and start with the first round, which we have changed slightly, which is usually rock, to third rock and around, which is 5 questions, 5 easy questions from our solar system. All right, so here's your first one. Okay, and we start off with a bumbling error right away. But which are the only 2 planets in our solar system which have no moons? And the first correct answer is from Cracking Connects. They have got it right. Answers are flying in. So I'm rusty today. I don't know. Been a while. Still, for our eaters have got it right. Chin Chin Chu have it right as well. Piyush Gupta, you have it right. Jigsaws, Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter, Team Jupiter have got it right. I'm not giving away the answer. Zaphod is right. Santu is right. Here comes the question right away. Where am I considering XX a planet? But yes, I am for the moment at least. Manjiri, you're right. The Bog, you're right as well. The first person was Cracking Connects. Let's go on to the options which I had given away anyway. Is it Mercury and Mars? Is it Venus and Mercury? Or is it Mars and Venus? So yes, XX has a moon, by the way. Yes, I was going to say that. So it's not even in the options. But yeah, it's one of the planets which are closer to the sun for sure than the other far gas giants and ice giants, which all of them seem to have moons of their own. And talking of moons, there's an interesting fact I heard. Omkar, I didn't know whether. So remember that actress Moon Sen, and used to wonder what could Moon mean, right? So there's actually a word called Moon in space terminology, which is actually something that it's still theoretical, nobody has found it yet, but something that revolves around a moon would be a moon. So that was great foresight from Moon Sen's.
So if something that revolves around a moon that revolves around a moon, would that be a moon?
Yes, that would be really way into the future, I'm sure. All right, so let's go on to the next one. Okay, so this one is again something easy. Which is the only planet in the solar system not named after a god? Okay, so first correct answer is already from Cracking Connects. Great job. The Borg is second. Still for our eaters, a third. Tanmay, Houston, Zafford, everybody is correct. I think everyone knows this one. For an extra point, if you know where that word comes from, let me know. Actually, not for an extra point, just for fun, for brownie points. If you know where the word comes from, if it is not named after a god. So, Prashant Taide, you're not correct. The others seem to have got it. So, for those who haven't got it yet, here are your options. Is it Mars, Earth, or Saturn? Okay, it doesn't matter which god. We are very atheistic in that sense. Could be any god or agnostic, one of those. Mars, Earth, or Saturn? Yes, secular. Thanks, Borg. You are very space secular here. Okay, so let's go on to the third one. I think everyone has got this one correct. No one has given me the answer for where the word comes from, if not from God. Santu says it means not God. So yeah, not exactly, but it actually means just soil or land. And it's a very old Germanic word. Okay, so here we go for the third one. The mission that took the first men to the moon was called Apollo. What was the name of the rocket that took them there? You can see the rocket in the picture. First correct answer is from the Borg. So you overtook Cracking Kernix there. Tanmay, you are correct as well. Zayford, you are right as well. So it's one of the, I think it's still considered one of the most powerful, tallest, biggest, hugest rockets ever made. And that was back in the 1960s. So Avijit Sutradhar, you are not correct. Ramanand, you are not correct as well. The others seem to know not just the name of the rocket, but the version of the rocket as well. I think it's a very, if any of you happen to go to NASA in Houston, they've actually kept the whole assembly as is in a huge room. So if Ramanand can't get it, what hope do we have is what, what someone is saying. But I have a feeling it's Ramanand's account. So let's go ahead and give you the options. So is it Eagle? Is it called Saturn? Or is it called Independence? Okay, so NASA is asking me, am I correct? So NASA, you can't ask me, are you correct? You should know. Okay, a lot of you have gone for, okay, I'm not going to give it away.
Sanasi, don't give it away.
I just pulled the brakes right on time. Okay, still Farah eaters have got it. I think.
Or in this special edition, you just fired the thrusters in the opposite direction at the right time.
Yes. So I don't know if I mentioned the ones who had got it correct. So let me go and ahead and do that. Jupiter have got it correct, ironically. San 2 have got it right. NASA, you have got it right, by the way. Jigsaws, you have it right. And still for our eaters, everybody else is not on it yet. All right, let me go on to the next question. Okay, so since it was discovered in 1846, Neptune has done this only once. What? Okay, the first absolutely correct answer is from still Farrar eaters. So while your hands are on in your Farrar, I don't know how you are doing this, but you are absolutely correct. The Borg is correct as well. Houston all is well is correct. Cracking Kernix, absolutely correct. Manjiri, you're not correct. Vulcans, you're not correct. Zayford, you're right. San 2, you're right as well. So I'll go on to the options. Ramanand is right as well. So the slight delay is because I'm trying to find my cursor, which is getting lost in space. Okay, so here are the options. Get a cyclone on its surface, have an acid rainfall, or complete a trip around the sun. So still Farrar eaters seem to be fans of Zayford and your name. Okay, so NASA says, NASA, you're not correct. NASA, you have a problem. Okay, Avijit, you are correct. Vulcans, you're correct as well. Now you have got it. Manjiri, you have got it now as well.
If NASA have a problem, I wonder if Houston can help them with it.
I know. So it's
one of the most famous misquotes in film history, though. Houston, we have a problem was never said on the lunar mission on Apollo 13. Yeah, it was actually Houston, we've had a problem.
And we have fixed it, so don't meddle, is it? Which is actually one of my favorite movies of all time, Apollo 13. So, but I don't have any question from that movie today. Okay, here's the fifth one. 5 known dwarfs of our solar system. What is the fifth that which I think a lot of people knew this was coming right beforehand. Everyone came up with knowing what we are going to say in case this is asked. Okay, so first correct answer is from, hang on, Cracking Connects. You have got it. Still for our readers, close second. Houston, all is well, is also correct. Zayford, Jupiter, Raman, and Prashant. You're all correct. Yes, so um, oh, yeah, interesting orbits. In case you happen to see there are these nice interactive posters online where you can find out which of these is taking what kind of an orbit. And I think what stops them from being a planet, and I could be wrong here, is that their orbit is really wacky in a way. So Chinchu, NASA, Vulcans, Jigsaws, all correct. No wrong answers here. So I think the options are going to be unnecessary. But let's see, is it Ganymede? Is it Pluto? Or is it Bruno? So Starman has Starman is, I think, Omkar only. Omkar. You can't confuse me like that. So that's a very funny one. So go ahead. So Omkar says basically that it would be funny if Make got a moon that revolves around its moon, which would make it Make's moon. True. That's why it probably doesn't have a moon, to avoid the embarrassment of this. Okay, so Manjari, you haven't got it right, but the others have. So let's go on to the answers. I think everyone's done really well. These were easy ones. So which are the only two planets with no moons? Are the rocky planets, or which are Venus and Mercury. Okay, the second one, which is the only planet not named after a god, which is Earth. Third one, this is the Saturn, or the Saturn V rocket. This, I think everyone got it right as well, which is complete a trip around the sun. It takes something like 164 years or something to complete a trip around the sun. And answer for this is Pluto. So this was the five dwarf planets of our solar system, at least the five known ones. And before we go on to the second round, let me know your scores. And still Farah Eaters are on 6, which is 5 plus 1 extra. Cracking Connects are on 5 plus 3. Great job. Ramanand is on 4. Jupiter is on 4. So every one of you have to beat Cracking Connects in this space race. And everyone's got 5 or 4. And I think everyone's doing well. So let's go on to the second round, which is paper planes and spacecraft. We are going to ask you names of spacecrafts, and we have piled up enough clues for you to answer them. So let's see. First one, what name connects this fictional Star Trek crew and this real spacecraft, which is currently the farthest man-made object from Earth at more than 100 times the distance from the Earth to the Sun and more than twice as far as Pluto? So I think a lot of youngsters, I'm surprised, these days are big fans. I mean, me growing up, we used to be big fans of a different set of crew. But a lot of youngsters these days are fans of this set of crew. And the first correct answer is from the Borg. Great job. You have got it absolutely correct. Cracking Connects is giving me options to choose from. Vulcans, you're correct. Kaustuv, you're correct. Jupiter, Houston, Ramanand, still Farah Eaters, and Rishabh, you are all correct. Okay, so the Borg say we almost assimilated them. Great job. Okay, so this is the actual spacecraft, which has now gone twice as far as Pluto, which I think. And if the youngsters are around, if any youngsters are around, do check out this golden record which is on this spacecraft. Anyway, before I, edge closer and closer to giving the answer away, let me go ahead. This is the second question. So this space telescope is designed to detect X-ray emissions from very hot regions of the universe, such as exploded stars, clusters of galaxies, and matter around black holes. It is touted as NASA's flagship X-ray observatory. It's actually a telescope. What is it called, or who is it named after? Okay, so a lot of answers have already come in by the time I finished my question, but the first correct answer is from Jupiter. So Jupiter, you have got it absolutely correct. Kaustav, you have got it correct as well. Cracking Carnix, yes, that is correct. Ramanand, you have got it right. Let's see, NASA has got it right. And Prashant, I've got it right. So if I haven't called out your name, you haven't got it. So think about it. Houston is asking me if this isn't correct. No, it isn't correct. So now everyone's like, really? What is it? So there is a reason I've put this. Omkar, you want to give do you know the answer, Omkar? No, Omkar has seen the questions, of course he does.
Well, even if I hadn't seen them, I knew this one.
Know the answer. I could be knowing the answer. And you want to give a clue.
Okay, let me think. If you are by the window, just look up into the sky.
Come on. I said clue, not the answer.
No, you just might spot this observatory.
Nice.
You have a powerful enough telescope.
Yeah, so still Farah eaters seem to have latched on to that. The Borg is correct as well. So of the many things that we are claiming as ours, this isn't one.
Nicely done.
So let's go on to the next question. So here's the song I'm going to play, and then I'll ask the question.
Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea. Sing it with us. And frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Okay, enough of that. Your question is, which spacecraft's name was inspired by this song, since many felt its mission was too dreamy and impossible? Ooh, people are thinking about this. Either that or my internet has stalled. Okay, so the first correct answer is from Houston. All is well. Good one. Though a more accurate no question answer is also from Zayford. So great job. Kaustav, you are right. Piyush Gupta, you are right. Prashant Taide, you are right as well. But those are the only ones who have got it correct. It's not a very convoluted question. I'm sure you know the answer. I mean, you know the answer. I don't know, you know the answer. You know of the answer. Okay, so Jupiter, Vulcans, try again. Haven't got it right.
I wonder if it is all right to let Zayford compete, what with their multiple heads and them having an advantage over the others.
Right, so that's why they're doing well. So a lot of you are giving me, so I hope you got the name of the song, which is Puff the Magic Dragon by Peter, Paul and Mary. And so far we haven't got the answers I've been looking for. So Manjari, Vulcans, Jupiter, not correct yet. This is not, come on guys, you must have seen this. Okay, so I'll wait for a couple more minutes. Does anyone want hints, or are you thinking? So that explains the sort of silence. Okay, Chin Chin Chu, you're on the right track. So go ahead and say what you need to say. So hints, okay. Hint would be, it's very, very recent. So very, very recent. Very cutting edge and new.
I'm sure you will kick yourself if you don't crack it.
Yes. Correct. So still for our eaters have got it. Rishabh has got it as well. I never thought this would be the tougher one in this set. I'll be honest with you, because the name is all over. Okay, Tanmay, not yet. No. Jupiter, no. Let's go on to the fourth one. I think I would like to reveal it eventually. Cracking Connects, you're correct now. Yes, you've got it. So it was named by by the person who sort of, I mean, that's the explanation he gave. The Borg, you're correct as well. So let's go on to the fourth one. I'll just wait a few seconds to see if more answers are coming in, or we'll go ahead. Okay, we'll go ahead. Okay, so the name Chandrayaan was given to India's moon mission by PM Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Initially a different but similar name had been proposed by the program by ISRO, but Vajpayee corrected it, pointing out that the name would be misconstrued as something else. So guess the discarded name. And the first people to get it right is the Borg. Fantastic answer. Santu, you're correct as well. Good job there. So I think if you, a lot of our youngsters in Iconic India may have encountered this, because we had given this as a trivia in the Iconic India Indian space quiz sets. Houston, not yet correct. Still for our eaters, not yet correct. Rishabh, Cracking Connects, not correct. So I think I'll give a couple of hints. I'll just wait for a few seconds and give out hints. So let me say that this correction came at a very important, I mean, it was a very important correction, because had it, yeah, I think Omkar's hint is really nice. You want to say it, Omkar?
Sure. So all I'll say is, don't wait till Monday to answer this question.
That's a good one. Or is it? Or is it? Prashant, you're not correct. Jupiter have got it right. Fabulous. So I think of other names that you could give. Tanmay, you have it right as well. Vulcans, I think, yes, your hint was really, really great. Vulcans have got it right. Cracking Connects have got it right as well. Ramanand has got it right. So now, for those of you who have got it right, probably know what it means by why it would have been misconstrued as something else, because the other word has a different, very funny, it could be taken as a very funny meaning. So let's go on to the fifth one. So if the US missions to the moon were named after the sun god, which is Apollo, what were the Russian missions to the moon named? I'm talking about the missions. So the mission or the program or the whatever, they were known as. So the Borg, you're not correct. Cracking Connects, no correct answers yet, guys. Vulcans are the first ones to get it right. Good answer there. The Borg has got it right as well. Or was it the Borg who got it right? Sorry, the Borg got it right. Vulcans, you haven't got it right. The Borg was the first one to get it right. Then we have correct answers from who? No one, really. No other correct answers. Still, for our eaters, have got it right now. So we have been bombarded with so many Russian spacecraft names. that it's actually quite simple, and there's a hint in the question. So Jupiter have it right. Still Ferrari eaters have got it right. Kaustav has got it right. Is it Kaustuv or Kaustav? Kaustav. Kaustav has got it right. Chinchinchu have got it right as well. Jigsaws have got it right. Kaustu. Oh, okay. How high? Is it Norse gods? I don't think it's Norse. No, but it's, yeah. I mean, it's a god. They also needed divine intervention after all. There's a funny story about this. Apparently, they beat the. I mean, they had launched one mission which was supposed to be on the same day before Apollo 11 landed. So there, I tried to search for this. I don't know where I found that story long back. I tried to search for the verification of this, but I couldn't locate it. Which is that one of the astronauts reported, one of the Apollo 11 astronauts reported seeing something from his window, which was an object that was flying in a singular direction. And apparently later it turned out it was the Russian probe that was returning from the moon, carrying moon material. But it didn't land properly. It crashed on Earth back. So they couldn't even claim to have beaten the Americans at getting space moon specimens. Okay, so Houston is guessing Sachin. No. Chinchinchu, all were inspired by Pink Floyd. True. Okay, it's not Artemis, it's not Sputnik, it's not any Stalin or Lenin or any of those. Let's go on and find the answers. I think there's a bonus question, which is not a spacecraft name, but a name nonetheless. So it's a humorous tribute to Dash and his association, which the catchphrase billions and billions. A dash has been defined as a unit of measurement equivalent to a very large number, technically at least 4 billion, 2 billion plus 2 billion, of anything. What is the name that goes in the blank? And still Ferrari eaters are the first one to get it right. Haddock's barnacle is no, it's a very space related question. Zayford has got it right as well. Tanmay, that's a great answer, but not correct. This is the name of a person. It's a tribute to him. And he would love saying billions and billions. And that's why anything that is, if you want to say billions and billions of anything. Oh, now I get the barnacle one, the haddock answer. That was very clever. Did you get it, Omkar?
Yes, as soon as you mentioned it.
You have to crack funny jokes which are my level. If you go too high, they bounce off the atmosphere. Okay, so Houston has answering Trump, which is again a very good answer. Billions and billions of votes, which he got, obviously.
We've got the best rockets, the greatest, really. They are huge.
Yeah. Chinchinchu, Rishav, Jupiter, all correct. Kaustav, correct. Ramanand, correct. And Jupiter is correct as well. Am I repeating the same names? I don't know. They're all merging into one. Okay, let's go on to the next one. NASA is correct. It's a very famous person related to space. We couldn't leave him out of a space quiz for sure. Okay. Not Bill Gates. These are good answers though. These are really good answers. Okay. Let's go on to the answers. So this is the crew and this is the spacecraft of Voyager, not Enterprise, like a few of you said. So it's Voyager. And there were, yes, some of you said Voyager 1, Voyager 2. I think both were launched within days of each other. And both have now gone way past. This is called not the Hubble telescope. This is called the Chandra X-ray Observatory after Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, who was a winner of the Nobel Prize in Physics. We can't even say he's Indian because, I mean, I wish it would have lent such a, we love calling all these people as Indian, but he is a Tamil born person who was born unfortunately in Lahore. So we can't claim him as Indian. and he was a naturalized American after that. But it's after him that I think for your maths and space geeks, Chandrasekhar limit is named is his equation. So that's him. This is this which came to be tougher one was the SpaceX Dragon. So Elon Musk called it Dragon because he liked this song, and it was sort of it went in tune with how critics sort of said that this was a magical thing that he's just dreaming of, all illusionary, not going to happen.
Also, now I had the tune to Puff the Magic Dragon stuck in my head for the last 10 minutes. So no thanks.
I know, I've been singing this all day today. Okay, so here's the name, which is Somyan. So Som, as a few of you obviously might know, could also mean Somyan could also mean alcoholic, instrument or an instrument of alcohol. So a nice intervention there. Who called it Chandrayaan. And this is Luna. So Russian missions to the moon were called Luna, and US missions were called Apollo. I don't know which one came first. I think probably spies of each other told what, like the chicken and egg question, which came first.
But hey, if you believe the conspiracy theorists, the Americans never visited the moon. So obviously it's the Russians.
Right. And Russians are so trustworthy. Correct. So I think there was a famous director who is said to have directed the moon landings. I forgot who. Do you know?
Oh, was it Stanley Kubrick?
Could be.
I don't know this for sure. I'm just throwing out names.
Yeah, I think so. I think I mean, I remember coming across the name, but I don't remember the exact answer. Okay, so the bonus question, which is Sagan, a Sagan named after Carl Sagan, who was the man behind popularizing space a lot back in those days. Okay, so here we go to the last round, which is called highly sort of construed. But before we do that, please let me know the scores. And Cracking Kernicks have a grand.
Did you get Sagan?
No.
Oh.
Still for our eaters are on 7 or 8. I'm guessing they lost count. It's not like you were counting stars. It was just a number. Tanmay had a 2 only. Ramanand had 3. Some of you are giving me the whole score. So 14 for the both 2 rounds together. Fabulous job there. Vulcans, 2 points as well. Jupiter is 10 on 11. 10 or 11 or 10 on 11, I don't know. If the bonus is 2 plus 1 or 2 plus 2. Okay. Right. So it's like that, whose line is it anyway thing. Everything's made up. Nothing's made up, but the points don't matter. Okay, so here we go. First question of the last round. This is editor scissors. We've got these questions from about space, but from pop culture. So here we go. So coined by Charles Howard Hinton in 1888 in his book, A New Era of Thought, dash, or the answer I'm looking for, is a structure that extends a normal cube into 4 dimensions. You will encounter it in the book A Wrinkle in Time, in the Marvel Universe, and also the movie Interstellar. What is it called? It's a very, it's the name of the object, and the name is very, very non-fiction, non-imaginary. It's a name given to this shape, or if I can say shape, it's 4-dimensional. So what is the name? And a lot of correct answers already. The Borg is the first one to get it right. Great job. Cracking Kernicks close second. Kaustav third. Houston, Prashant, Vulcans, Rishabh, Ramanand all have it right. So this is one of those where I can't even attempt a hint. I think, I mean, do you know a hint? It's named after. So the first, I mean, the start of the word would probably mean 4 in some language, I'm sure. But if anyone knows what is the logic behind this name or has any trivia, do let me know. It's not a wormhole. This is a I think until I came across the fact that this is actually a figure, I thought it was just something Marvel people came up with. So Zaphod have got on to the start of the name correct, but it's not that. I think this is one of those you know it or you don't ones, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you need to have watched some Marvel movies to get
Right.
use this
So
answer.
from what I remember, it comes from the word meaning four rays.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
It originates from Greek and Latin.
Correct. So four rays, that's your thing. So this is actually a moving figure, though I thought it would show the moving one. This actually shows you how it extends into time as well. And if you have seen Interstellar, it's what he's stuck in at the end of the movie.
No spoilers.
I don't think it's beyond this is nothing. I mean, this is it. Okay, still for our eaters have got it. Let's go on to the second one. So this is a scene from the Iron Man 2 movie. Can you identify the location? The Borg, you are absolutely correct. So the location is, I think there are a couple of hints there if you watch closely. And yes, still for our eaters, you have got it right. You have got it right. Zaphod, you're right. Houston, Rishabh, Kaustav, correct. Okay, I'll give a hint. It's not NASA. It's not NASA. Ramanand, you have it right. Jupiter, that's a great answer, but not correct.
In fact, Tony Stark is often compared to this person.
Right. And I think yeah, that's about it. That's the end of any more hints. Santu, not correct. It's a real location. What you see behind are actually real things, though the movie is not the real version. Jupiter, correct. Vulcans have got it right as well. Jigsaw's very close, not there, but close. I don't know if the two factories are close to each other. Santu, no, it's not. It's not. You know, I think you're there somewhere close, but I want a specific answer. Cracking Karnix, again, very close, but Tanmay, Cracking Karnix have given the same answer, close but not there, very close. I think this one's hint, Omkar's hint was perfect, though. I mean, this, I think in the movie, this isn't shown as Iron Man's factory, it's the other guy, Whiplash, right? Whiplash factory. Okay, let's go on to the third one. Cracking Karnix, you have it right now. Third one, okay. Actor Morgan Freeman has played two characters whose names have been given to asteroids. These are the two characters. Now you have to tell me which two, because those are names of real asteroids. Okay, so Vulcans have got one correct. Martin Freeman. I didn't say Morgan. Oh, I said Morgan Freeman, is it? No, Martin. Martin Freeman. It's, I mean, of all actors who could have got two asteroids named after characters they played, it has to be the sidekick. It's sort of ironic. Okay, let's see who has got it right. Vulcans have still got one correct. Ramanand is the first one to get both correct. So great job. Still for our eaters, Kaustav have got one correct. Zaphod has got one correct. So the second one, both, I'm sure you know one of them for sure. The second one is the mystery, but I would say look at how he's dressed. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, really, Ramanand, I agree. I'm looking for what Zaphod has been answering. But Zaphod has got only one correct so far. All three heads and no use. Okay, so Cracking Karnix have it. Still, for our eaters have it. The Borg has got both correct. So I think after Ramanand is the second one to get it right. Houston, you have got the difficult one correct, but not the first one. Okay, so should I go ahead? Jupiter, again, all combinations coming in. I'll give you 2 hints before going on. The one on the left is a literary character. Both are literary characters, obviously. The right is from a very funny book. The left is from a very mystery sort of thriller series. So Cracking Kernix, correct. Houston, you have got one correct. In case you have got both, just put them in one sentence. Zayford, now you get it. Now, how many drinks have you put down those throats and how many have you sent looking for them and all those things? Okay, so let's go on to the fourth one. Okay, fourth question. Oops. What's the, did I give the answers away? I think I have kept the answer slide in the next one. So, did you see that, Omkar?
I did, but I don't think that's the answer.
I think I've put the answer slide next by mistake. So here's your only shot. The answer will be revealed after this slide. What's the space connection? All these people here, what is the space connection? All these toys here, rather. Is it so difficult? Or my internet has really stalled? Okay, still Farah, that's your answer? No, what is your answer? You can't just say that. What is the answer? What's the space connection? Names of that, is that what you're saying? Give me a nice answer. No correct answer so far. Zayford, if the answer to this was Tom Hanks voiceover, I would really say that I'm a big fan of Apollo 13 because that would have no space connection whatsoever. So no, it's not voiced by Tom Hanks. Jigsaw is not correct. So if I remember, I said something a while ago which actually sort of gave it away. Did you notice it, Omkar? No, it was a very.
If you gave it away, I didn't catch it.
Very subtle.
Oh, you're getting better.
Yeah, I'm getting better. That means. Okay, no correct answer so far. Okay, let me give a clue. So the connection is with real life head. No, the next slide is going to give it away, I think. So I can't go to the next slide. But okay, so it's, let me say, what I said earlier was, what is the connection with all these toys? So don't think of them as cartoons or characters. Think of them as toys that you can hold. So what is the connection? And they were all, so Cracking Kernix, I'll give it to you because that's the closest that I've got so far. And yes, if you can think about it further, the Borg, I think better answer, but still there. You guys are all getting it now, but think about that a bit more and tell me why. Why is that the case? Cracking Kernix, again, good answer. You're getting it. Still Ferraritas, Cracking Kernix, Houston, everyone has got the concept. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I'll go ahead and give the answer. I think the next slide is going to give the answer. If not, then you have still more time to think about it. So, okay, no, it doesn't give the answer away. No, it does actually. So this is the space connection. They are all used as, I'll go to the answer later. But this is basically, this is what a lot of you have already said. and which is your correct answer. But we'll talk more about it when we reveal the answers. Correct. So still Farah Readers have got it right. One of those three options that you have given me is correct. Two options, yes. Okay, the fifth one, in the 1980s, a new batch of astronauts made aviation history. This is NASA aviation history. Sally Ride became the first American woman in space, and Guy Bluford was the first black man in space. Now, all these were recruited into NASA because of this particular NASA recruitment video, which featured a particular Star Trek actor. So you can give me the name of the actor or the character. And great answer from the Borg. You have got it right. Kaustav, you have got it right as well. The others haven't got it right. So think about the question. Tanmay, Jigsaw is cracking Karnix, not got it right. Let me see. Chin Chin Choose, extra points for you to getting even the actor's name, which is not so easy. So good job there. You can give me the character's name, no problem. I'm getting all sort of, so that character is definitely standing there in the picture, if you notice. And it's not, so it's not Spock. A lot of you are saying Spock, it's not Spock. So who was this actor or character? Definitely hints in the question. Okay, so the video was in 1977, yes. It's not Persis Kambata, though I get a fake, I'm getting, you know why that answer is being given, Omkar?
Actually, I haven't the foggiest.
No, I think she became famous. That's what it's sort of. Guys, tell me why you think it's Persis Kambata. There is the space Star Trek sort of connection. I can't remember what. It's from a long time ago. Okay, so she had acted in Star Trek. No, so no, this was a very iconic figure in the Star Trek universe, and it was used for a particular reason. I'm guessing they used it for a particular reason to inspire more people to join and to make it more diverse, filling the diversity quota. Okay, so let's go on to the answers. And before we go, a reminder that in case you want a specific quiz to play with the kids, we have the India in Space episode of Iconic India, which is especially for youngsters, but it's enjoyable for all. You can download it from bit.ly/India in Space, or you can go to the Iconic India site and choose whichever other themes you would like. There's also this thing that we have for 1 hour after family quiz night, where you can get your simple interest ticket for the year and get an extra gift spot for free. You can use the gift spot anytime you like as a gift voucher to give to someone else. That's valid only for 1 hour after FQN ends. Okay, so let's go on to the answers. So what is this called? It is the Tesseract. Second one, this is the scene from the movie. The location is the SpaceX factory. So you can actually see SpaceX written behind Iron Man, the module over there, which I think looks a lot like the dragon. These two characters are Dr. Watson and Arthur Dent. So now you know why we were after Zaphod so much. They are from the same series of books, which is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So,
I almost said, don't panic. He's got a towel, not a cloak around him when you were reading the question out, but I think that would have given the answer away.
Right. So there are a lot of hitchhikers related trivia floating around in space, literally. Apparently Elon Musk sent out this large truck which orbits the Earth or something like that. And he has written, don't panic on that truck. And there's also this asteroid which is there. I think half of the all of the characters from Sherlock Holmes are there as asteroids. So there's Sherlock as well, and there is Moriarty as well. Okay, and the answer to this is these act as zero gravity indicators. So all of them take some toy with them usually, and they have all been used as zero gravity indicators, or as a lot of you said, toys that were taken into space. And the answer to this last one is Uhura, Lieutenant Uhura or Nichelle Nichols. Like only one answered, but Uhura, a lot of you answered, who became the pin-up model poster girl for hiring real life NASA astronauts. So that's it for tonight. I hope you guys had fun. Let me know your scores. 17 for cracking Carnix, 22 for the Borg, hands down. I think you had a great outing today. You came in determined, I'm sure. Tanmay had a lousy round, but don't worry, you'll have a better landing next time. But you enjoyed the quiz, so thanks a lot for that. We will be back with you 2 weeks from now with another episode of Family Quiz Night. If any one of you would like to host, or you would like to try out hosting a round, or to do a few questions of your favorite topic, do write into us. We are open to that. And if you don't, just join in as always, and we will see you. I hope you guys are all on the Telegram channel, because that's where we post a quiz every day as well. So thanks a lot, guys. Good night. And thanks, Omkar, for being a very good satellite host today. Good night. Thanks.